Kofi was a well-known hunter in a small Ghanaian village. He was respected for his bravery and skills in the forest. People would often come to him for help when they needed food or protection from wild animals. Kofi was proud of his position and enjoyed the admiration of the villagers. However, over time, Kofi began to change. He became more aggressive and secretive. He would often disappear into the forest for days without telling anyone where he was going. The villagers started to notice the change in him, but they couldn't quite put their finger on what was wrong. One day, a young man named Kwame went missing. He had gone into the forest to gather firewood, but he never returned. The villagers searched for him, but there was no sign of him anywhere. Kofi was the last person to see Kwame, and he claimed that Kwame had gone off on his own to hunt. The villagers were skeptical, but they didn't accuse Kofi of anything. They just hoped that Kwame would turn up soon. But as the days went by, there was no sign of Kwame, and the villagers started to get worried. As the days turned into weeks, the villagers started to whisper among themselves about Kofi's involvement in Kwame's disappearance. Some people claimed to have seen Kofi performing strange rituals in the forest, while others said they had heard strange noises coming from his hut at night. The villagers were scared, but they didn't know what to do. They didn't want to accuse Kofi without proof, but they couldn't shake off the feeling that something was wrong. Aku, a brave widow who lived in the village, was particularly concerned about Kwame's disappearance. She had known Kwame since he was a child, and she was like a mother to him. Aku decided to investigate Kwame's disappearance herself, but she knew it wouldn't be easy. Aku started by asking questions around the village, but people were reluctant to talk. They were scared of Kofi and his powers, and they didn't want to cross him. Aku realized that she would have to be careful if she wanted to uncover the truth. Before we continue, click on the subscribe button, like and share for your friends to enjoy this story. One night, Aku decided to follow Kofi into the forest. She had heard rumors of his dark rituals, and she wanted to see for herself what was going on. Aku followed Kofi from a distance, being careful not to be seen. As she watched, Kofi began to perform a strange ritual. He was chanting and dancing around the fire, and Aku could feel the evil energy emanating from him. She knew that she had stumbled upon something sinister, and she was determined to expose Kofi's secrets. The next day, another villager went missing. This time it was a young woman named Adwa. She had been out gathering herbs in the forest when she vanished. The villagers were in a panic, and they didn't know what to do. Aku knew that she had to act fast. She gathered a group of brave villagers and decided to confront Kofi. But as they approached his hut, they could feel the dark energy emanating from it. They knew that they were in grave danger. Aku and the villagers approached Kofi's hut, ready to confront him. But as they got closer, they could feel the air grow thick with evil energy. Kofi emerged from his hut, his eyes blazing with malevolence. "What do you want?" he growled, his voice low and menacing. Aku stood tall, despite the fear that was growing inside her. "We want to know what happened to Kwame and Adwa," she said, her voice firm. Kofi sneered at Aku, his face twisted with contempt. "You think you can accuse me of something and get away with it," he spat. "I am a powerful hunter, and I will not be threatened by a mere widow." Aku stood her ground, despite the fear that was growing inside her. She knew that she had to be brave if she was going to uncover the truth. "We will not back down," she said, her voice firm. Kofi's face darkened with anger, and he took a step closer to Aku. "You are playing with fire," he hissed. If you continue to accuse me, you will suffer the consequences. Aku felt a chill run down her spine, but she refused to back down. She knew that she had to be brave if she was going to uncover the truth. We will not be intimidated. Before we continue, click on the subscribe button, like and share for your friends to enjoy this story. The villagers were scared of Kofi's warning, and they began to back away. But Aku stood her ground, refusing to give up. She knew that she had to be brave if she was going to uncover the truth. I will not be intimidated, Aku said, her voice firm. I will continue to investigate until I find out what happened to Kwame and Adwoa. The villagers, fearing for their lives, abandoned Aku and returned to their homes. Aku was left alone to continue her investigation. She knew it wouldn't be easy, but she was determined to uncover the truth. Aku decided to search Kofi's hut for any clues. She snuck in, trying not to make a sound, and began to search. As Aku searched Kofi's hut, she stumbled upon a mysterious symbol etched into the wall. It looked like some sort of dark magic symbol, and Aku knew that she had stumbled upon something important. She took a closer look at the symbol, trying to decipher its meaning. As she did, she heard a strange noise coming from outside. Aku felt a chill run down her spine as she realized that she was not alone. She could feel an unseen force watching her, and she knew that she had to get out of there fast. She quickly left the hut, trying not to make a sound. As she emerged into the bright sunlight, she felt a sense of relief wash over her. As Aku walked back to her hut, she was approached by one of the villagers. "Aku, be careful," the villager whispered. "Kofi is not what he seems. He is involved in dark magic, and he will stop at nothing to keep his secret safe." Aku thanked the villager for the warning and continued on her way. That night, Aku couldn't shake off the feeling that something was off. She kept thinking about the mysterious symbol she had found in Kofi's hut and the villager's warning. Before we continue, click on the subscribe button, like and share for your friends to enjoy this story. As she lay in bed, she heard a strange noise coming from outside. It sounded like chanting, and Aku knew that she had to investigate. Aku snuck out of her hut and followed the sound of the chanting. She found herself at the edge of the forest, where Kofi was performing a dark ritual. Aku watched in horror as Kofi summoned a dark spirit. She knew that she had to get out of there fast. Aku quickly turned around and ran back to her hut. She knew that she had to be careful, as Kofi would stop at nothing to keep his secret safe. As she ran, she could feel the dark energy emanating from the forest. She knew that she had stumbled upon something sinister. The next day, Aku decided to come up with a plan to expose Kofi's dark magic. She knew that it wouldn't be easy, but she was determined to bring him to justice. She gathered a few trusted villagers and told them about what she had seen. Together, they came up with a plan to catch Kofi in the act. That night, Aku and the villagers set a trap for Kofi. They waited patiently, hiding behind trees and bushes. As Kofi began to perform another dark ritual, Aku and the villagers sprang into action. They caught Kofi off guard and confronted him. Kofi was taken aback by the sudden confrontation. He tried to deny any wrongdoing, but Aku and the villagers had proof. They had caught him on tape performing the dark ritual, and they had witnessed him summoning a dark spirit. Kofi knew that he was beaten, and he confessed to his crimes. The villagers were shocked and outraged by Kofi's confession. They couldn't believe that one of their own had been involved in such sinister activities. Oku and the villagers decided to take Kofi to the authorities, where he would face justice for his crimes. Kofi was taken to the police station, where he was charged with various crimes, including murder and human sacrifice. The villagers were relieved that justice had been served, and they thanked Oku for her bravery. The villagers began the process of healing and recovery. They performed rituals to cleanse their village of the dark energy that had been present. Oku was hailed as a hero for her bravery and determination. She had brought peace back to the village. The village began to flourish once again, and the villagers were finally able to live in peace. Oku was celebrated as a hero, and her bravery was told and retold in stories for generations to come. Before we continue, click on the subscribe button, like and share for your friends to enjoy this story. The villagers also made sure to keep a close eye on each other, ensuring that no one else would be able to abuse their power like Kofi had. The villagers came together to rebuild and restore their community. They worked tirelessly to repair damaged homes and buildings, and to restore the village's sacred spaces. Oku played a key role in the rebuilding efforts, using her wisdom and leadership to guide the villagers. As the village was rebuilt, the villagers also underwent a renewal of their spiritual practices. They rediscovered their connection to the natural world and to their ancestors. Oku helped to lead the villagers in their spiritual renewal, using her knowledge of traditional practices to guide them. The villagers also took steps to protect themselves from future threats. They established a council of elders to oversee the village and ensure that no one person had too much power. Oku was a key member of the council, and she helped to establish rules and protocols to keep the village safe. The villagers decided to build a memorial to honor the victims of Kofi's crimes. They gathered stones and wood, and built a beautiful monument in the center of the village. Oku spoke at the dedication ceremony, honoring the memories of those who had been lost. As time passed, Oku's legend grew. She was remembered as a hero who had saved her village from darkness and evil. The villagers told stories of her bravery and selflessness, and they passed down her legacy from generation to generation. Years later, the villagers gathered to celebrate the anniversary of Kofi's downfall. They feasted and danced, and they honored Oku's memory with songs and stories. Oku's legacy lived on, a reminder of the power of courage and determination in the face of evil. If you love these African folktales reality stories, do well to subscribe, like and share. Also comment, I need more.